Lysosomes 2020, breaking down worn-out parts and protecting our cell from invaders.
As our function, we digest macromolecules and are involved in various cell processes, including breaking down excess or worn-out cell parts. Not to mention, we are used for destroying invading viruses and bacteria, and we can help self-destruct in a process called programmed cell death, which is apoptosis, if the cell is damaged or beyond repair.
Our running mate, the cell membrane, provides protection and allows for a fixed environment inside of the cell. It is also responsible for transporting nutrients inside and removing toxic substances outside.
We are a simple structure of spheres made up of a lipid bilayer that encloses a fluid that contains a variety of hydrolytic enzymes.
The cell membrane structure consists of a semi-permeable membrane that surrounds and encloses its contents of the cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. It is composed of a phospholipid bilayer with embedded proteins. We have interacted with each other since day one. We have constant communication with one another because of our responsibility for getting rid of non-essential material, along with bringing in material that we need. Without us, our towns would be overrun with garbage.
The mitochondria is not a good candidate because they can have countless diseases, including Kearns-Sayre syndrome, Leigh syndrome, mitochondria DNA depletion syndrome, and many more. These diseases can lead to poor growth, muscle weakness, vision and hearing problems, learning disabilities, and various others.
Candidate chloroplasts can't hold up in stressful situations. When they become damaged, they release harmful reactive oxygen species, which causes some young plants never to turn green.
If the Golgi apparatus decides one day that they just don't care about our cell anymore and leave us hanging, we wouldn't be able to digest all of the materials in our cell. This leads to excess junk throughout our cities. We wouldn't be able to survive. You really want that chance when picking a president?
Did you know that a large number of autophagic vacuoles in muscle cells can cause Danon disease? This disease can lead to the breakdown of muscle cells, causing muscle weakness. We need a strong candidate, not one that will make our cell weaker.
Lysosomes can cause various diseases, including Zellweger syndrome, which leads to poor muscle tone, poor feeding, seizures, hearing, and vision loss. Neonatal adrenoleukodystrophy is another disease that leads to muscle spasms, seizures, hyperactivity, and paralysis. Infantile refsum is yet another disease that can be caused by these organelles. This disease can cause deafness, poor muscle coordination, mental disabilities, and abnormal face features. Lysosomes are important for the survival of the organism because without them, all the cells and the organism itself would not be able to survive. If there were no lysosomes in the cell, it would not be able to digest food and there would be an accumulation of waste like worn-out cell parts inside the cell. Without a cell membrane, any chemical would be allowed to enter the cell. It also allows the cell to survive in different environments. Without the cell membrane, survival for cells would be very difficult and basically impossible. Without the cell survival, organisms such as earthworms would not be able to survive.
Without earthworms, ecosystems would fall apart. Without these decomposers, there would be dead leaves, dead insects, and dead animals piling up everywhere. Imagine what the world would look like. Imagine the smell. Not to mention, decomposers make vital nutrients available to any ecosystem's primary producers, such as plants or algae. Many organisms would cease to exist.
Without lysosomes, this would lead to life as we know it vanishing very quickly. There would be less food, more pollution, and more flooding due to the lack of decomposers. Countless organisms may die and dead material would surround everything and be everywhere. Our world would be a sad excuse for what it once was. We need lysosomes.
We have a few organelles in mind to assist us during our presidency. The Golgi apparatus will be a great addition to Team Lysosomes because it will be in charge of producing. Another team member we'd love to have is the rough ER. We would put them in charge of packaging enzymes. Finally, vesicles would be the Secretary of Transportation.
Vote lysosomes, the stomach of the cell. We are lysosomes and cell membrane, and we approve this message.